And we're back with another episode of Words with Nerds with the Triple S crew themselves. That's right, we're drinking so that we can stay awake. It's probably not healthy, but whatever. I am Sundance, aka DJ.
I'm Slick Vic Rodriguez.
I'm Space Case. It's just water, by the way. It's just water.
They don't know that.
And yeah, I'm full of paint, so no one judge me. I
This
just
is
realized
whiskey.
that I still have paint all over me.
It's not water. I'm getting drunk on these episodes. Let's go.
Oh, you drink alcohol? Like a big boy?
Heavily. I know. I was just looking at us and I was like, here are these two guys that just look their age, and then there's me with a fucking baby face that does not look like he's 30. And I kind of hate it, but at the same time, I'm 21 Jump Street, so what's up? So we're sticking with the same format that we were for last episode, which is movie trailers. And if you can't read, then I'm going to read it for you. The Book of Boba Fett. Let's jump right into it because Star Wars is... I forgot to tell you guys, my next tattoo is going to be Boba Fett's insignia. And I'm going to get it on this side, right here. Right opposite of my, not Game of Thrones, Halo tattoo.
Oh, you're not a Stark?
I am a Stark, but this has nothing to do with that. But so many people see it and they're just like, the White Wolf? I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? No.
David Stark?
Like,
are you from Winterfell?
Tony Stark, biatch.
Tony Stark. No, Tony Stark, motherfucker.
Let's get right into it. First off, just so you guys know who's watching, I'm sure you guys are too, but I absolutely love Star Wars. I grew up with it. My dad took me to see every one of the movies in theaters, like when the prequels came out. And I've watched all of Clone Wars. I've watched all of The Mandalorian. Dave Filoni is a fucking genius. Jon Favreau, you know, great directing. So I'm really excited about the Book of Boba Fett. So let's just jump right into it. Before I start talking about it, I just wanted to see. I'm just going to give a quick synopsis. Boba Fett is a character that was introduced during Empire Strikes Back, which was in I want to say 1980. He was a bounty hunter, a Mandalorian, if you will. His father was Jango Fett, who same guy is playing both of these guys, which is Tamara Morrison. He is known for voicing and doing live action Jango Fett, as well as the clones on the Clone Wars next to David D. Bradley. I mean, wow. I mean, this is just so cool. He was first introduced back in live action again during The Mandalorian. His character meets an untimely fate in Return of the Jedi, where he's bumped by Han Solo into the Sarlacc pit, and we think he's just dead. That's also where the Wilhelm scream comes from, and we were all kind of just like, what the fuck? And so when we see him in The Mandalorian again, he's just a man traveling through the world, kind of like Jango Fett before him, and he doesn't really claim to be a Mandalorian or a bounty hunter anymore. He's just a man that's trying to get shit done. And in the Book of Boba Fett, in the trailer, we see that he is taken over for Jabba the Hutt in the underworld, and we really don't get to see as much of that side of Star Wars as we would like. Mostly, a lot of the prequel and sequels were focused on the politics of it and the ragtag group of rebellions and all of that. So to see the underworld and to see how dirty and conflicting like the Star Wars universe can be, I feel like it brings a whole nother side to it. And we're very excited to see that. You know, Tamara Morrison and Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shan, who's like the right-hand woman of Boba. These timeless actors they just look so amazing in their roles, and I'm just curious to see what you guys think. What were your first reactions? I'll start with Victor. What was your first reaction when you were watching the trailer?
I thought it was brilliant that they got the same actor that played Jango Fett so many years ago to do it. So it was really cool seeing this guy who essentially, you know, he looks like the bright age, he looks like all that stuff that should work for it. Just play this very playing this dude, and they kind of like, you know, they hammed it up in there, which I loved. This dude who knows he could kill you. He's the man who goes into a room and he's like, I'll win this fight. Doesn't matter how many people are in there. He's just like, I want everyone here to know that. Like one of the lines in the trailer was when they were talking about how, what is it? Jabba would have killed you all if you said this to him. And you see him, he's just like,
Yeah.
And Jabba would have fed you to his menagerie.
yeah. And then he's just like, I'll let you speak. And I'm just like, that's literally the dude being like, I don't need that. I'll just kill you myself. But please finish your sentence. I thought it was it had that intimidation factor, and it looks like it's definitely steering completely away in the sense of tone from the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian,
yeah, it's steering away from it. Mandalorian's very honor bound, kind of heroism in its own thing. This isn't a dude who's trying to be a hero. He's literally like, I'm gonna take what's mine, what's owed to me, because I am owed this, and I'm one of the greatest killers ever.
Yeah,
so I liked the whole tone.
So once upon a time, someone told me that The Mandalorian is technically a Western. If you were to classify it in a genre, it's a Western, which makes sense on paper. And after I watch it, I totally agree. This Boba Fett trailer fits right in that category, and I think it is a Western. It's definitely a Western. So the way I look at it is the Mandalorian is our star-studded cowboy, while Boba Fett is the outlaw. And I can't help but to notice all the families and stuff sitting at the table and kind of get like this mafia kind of vibe. So I'm excited for this whole mashup of this like interesting feel of mafia meets outlaw meets Western meets like space, obviously Star Wars. Just throw that all in a pot, mix together, and you're getting Boba Fett. So I don't know,
there's definitely, I like both of your points. To both of your points, yes. A lot of critics and a lot of people that have seen The Mandalorian kind of in terms of comparing the two to movies, like we just talked about. I think if The Mandalorian is a movie, it's the Man with No Name trilogy, like the Clint Eastwood fistful of dollars, and like like those type of movies, which are classic westerns that encapsulates like that genre as a whole. And so if The Mandalorian is like that, where it's like a man with a code, and like he's similar to like a samurai or like a cowboy that just like follows this adhered code, we kind of get a glimpse of the duality between Boba Fett and Din Djarin, where it's just like, I don't know what's going on with Vince right now.
Sorry, no.
It's cat. Don't you hear
it?
I'm still recording in the living room. We were tiptoeing, and I'm like, it's cool, don't worry.
It's cool. We can't hear you. That's
don't
fine.
have to tiptoe. It's no big deal. This isn't like an official Joe Rogan podcast where we have millions of viewers.
Yeah, don't worry, guys.
We hear cats fighting in the background every week. It's totally normal.
Don't worry. Maybe that'll lend us some viewers.
Taylor's tiptoeing back there. I'm like, dude, it's cool.
Taylor, don't tiptoe.
Tiptoe.
You're good. Oh, we're looking for a missing cat. She's probably in the basement. No worries.
She's somewhere, probably chipping away at paint. If the Mandalorian is Clint Eastwood's like Man with No Name, then like Boba Fett's, the book 2 is kind of like The Godfather, where like I think Boba he's thrust into this role of not thrust into it, but like he takes on the role of like an underworld kingpin, as it were, and he's trying to keep the peace while at the same time, like it's right from the beginning, we see that there's a difference between that and the Mandalorian, where it's just like, I'm no bounty hunter. Like he says it, he's just like, I'm just a man trying to make his way in the universe. And this is his way of doing it. And I think it's so cool that, like, to Victor's point, yes, this is a man that could walk into a room and kill somebody with like a fucking pencil, John Wick style. But he is choosing to take this other route. And he says, why think about conflict when corporation can bring us more?
Mhm.
You know, like, he's got that mindset. And I think that'll come in a conflict with what we've seen from Boba Fett in the past, which is like this rabid kind of kill anything that gets in my way type of dude. And, you know, having Fennec Shan, who, like I said, right hand woman to him, amazing assassin. If you haven't seen Mandalorian or the Clone Wars, she is mentioned in both and seen in both. So I would definitely go and watch that. If you can watch The Mandalorian as a standalone, and you don't have to watch the other movies in order to get it. They touch on like uh, pretty obvious stuff within the show, so you don't need a thorough background of Star Wars in order to watch The Mandalorian and thoroughly enjoy it. I feel like it's going to be the same way with this, where hardcore fans are going to love it, but new people that are coming to it, it's probably be very new user friendly to them. So yeah, I'm just excited to see it, man. It just seems like such a blast. The same people that worked on The Mandalorian are working on this, and when Boba was brought back in The Mandalorian, Robert Rodriguez worked on that episode and directed that episode, and he worked on like the stunts and the choreography and everything for the fight scenes, which a lot of people thought that particular episode was like one of the highlights of the second season of The Mandalorian. So I'm thoroughly excited to see that, and it still has that Western feel to it, which I
Yeah,
really love.
I think it's going to be a darker series of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Um, I'm, I think I'm more excited for Boba Fett than I was for Mandalorian, and I think it goes right back to where you're just talking about, where we know Boba Fett from previous movies. We know who he is and what he's capable of, and what he does, what his mantra is, right? So to go into a show where we know that person, we know what to expect, or at least we hope to expect certain things from the show. We know
Mm-hmm.
what it's capable of bringing. With Mandalorian, it was just like kind of more of a anticipation of wondering what it's going to bring, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when this is like, okay, we know this guy, we know what's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited, as
I feel
Victor
like,
said.
yeah, I feel like that's just gonna be fun. Victor, um, well, let me ask Vince this question first, since I started off with you.
Mhm.
What is the one thing that you're looking forward to when watching the show? And it could be like fight choreography or character development or, you know, atmosphere. Like, what are you most
Yeah.
excited about when watching the trailer?
Um, Man, to pick one thing is hard. I guess I'll throw it in a nutshell and just say like the whole cinematography of it, just and that
Hmm.
includes the pacing of the show, the I guess that's not cinematography. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Just the the styling of the show, you
Just
know?
like a
Oh,
fucking
that's
word out there.
Like,
cinematography. Yeah.
yeah, so like how the directors compose their shots, how the music plays into every scene, the pacing of the show, even just like the lighting and everything like that. I think new age Star Wars stuff is so interesting to me because they keep that classic vibe, the classic music, everything like that, but they
Hmm.
have such a beautiful way of twisting it into modern cinematography and everything like that, and keeping it fresh, like a fresh look. So it's
I
always cool to
agree.
see more Star Wars stuff and to see how they just add on to what they already have.
I mean, you know, Dave Filoni is pretty much the new George Lucas. I mean, he's kind of taken over the reins,
Mhm.
as it were, of like the Star Wars universe. So if I see him attached to a Star Wars project, I'm just like, this is going to be good. Like, I already know it's going to be good.
Yep.
Victor, same question.
What I'm excited for. Um, so what I'm excited for is already kind of like it was in the trailer a little bit. Um, just the growth of the character Boba Fett, because what we all kind of talked about is that he was a lone merc, he was a lone killer, like that was his thing. That was that was what happened. And in the trailer alone, seeing where he explains like it's better if we all cooperate. means that he kind of learned is like, if I fly this solo, I'm gonna get killed, or someone's gonna take my throne. It's happened to everyone beforehand that's tried to rule with an iron fist. They get taken out because they don't spread the wealth. And then I'm also curious to see who's gonna be, because there's always gonna be like, there has to be a really good pushing antagonist to him. So I'm curious to see who's going to be that villain to him, or the hero, because it could potentially just be a hero character that's just like, we have to stop this crime lord. And I'm curious to see that duality, because in this show, we're going to be rooting for the bad guy. We're going to be rooting for the Godfather. We're going to be rooting for the mafia to win.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see who's the hero.
But I think, I think we inherently, as the audience, I think we like to root for the anti-hero or the antagonist or the villain, because if you think about it, Michael Corleone, he's not a good guy in The Godfather, but we root for him. Jason Todd, the Red Hood, like we root for him. Like if you think about all of your favorites, Loki, kill
Morbius.
People, Morbius, like we're constantly rooting for like the guys that aren't supposed to be liked. And I think we inherently do that because we want to see, okay, there's more to a villain than the story that the hero tells us from their perspective. So I think watching this, we'll see Boba kind of come into his own and see that character development, and I think that's pretty cool, man. I like when people take characters you're not supposed to like and make them likable, which probably shouldn't happen as much, but
yeah, it's a mutual consensus among the three of us. I know Victor and I are big Negan fans. It's the same story with him as it is with Boba Fett. Like, you're putting this kind of shitty person who, he's a bounty hunter, he breaks the rules, he breaks the law all the time, and then you end up rooting for him because you see that there is some sense inside of him that says, I need to do good.
It's harder to root for it's easy to root for a hero because we see them become the hero, but it's harder to root for a villain. So when people do that and they make them likable, it kind of makes it more fun, like more enjoyable for us to watch the project, as it were, in my opinion, I think. But I think we covered all the bases there, guys. It's a pretty short one, but short and sweet and to the point, the meat and potatoes of it all. And I think we can wrap this bad boy up. What do you guys think?
I think so. Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen already, we did a Morbius video earlier in the week. Obviously this one's out today. We got one more for you guys this week. We'll see how this goes. We might stick to this format with like 3 a week, but that's it for this one. We will see you in the next one. Obviously,
Peace out.
right? That's how it goes.
That's right.
We're here now. So the next we will be in the next one.
Dear Lord. All right. This is the Triple S crew.
We're wrapping this up. Yeah.
This is the Words with Nerds.
Check,
we're
please.
signing off right now. It's Sundance.
It's
Slick Vic, and it's Space Case. We're out of here.
Let me click the off button. Hold on.
Jesus.